Hey, I'm Ben.
I'm Whitney.
And I'm Ruthie. And I'm Riley. And I'm Remy.
And we're the Hallbrooks family. We've been going to Cross Creek for 8.5 years, and in that time we've done a lot of growing in truth, because that's pretty essential to what the church is. And what that means to us really is living a transformed life and being equipped to live a transformed life in light of the gospel, the truth of the gospel, and the person of Jesus. And that's just the core, the hub, I think, of everything that Cross Creek is. And that's huge. That is so huge in today's world, where there's so many messages that we're hearing all the time that are trying to kind of take us away from that truth. And so that's challenging to me. I think that's challenging to Whitney and the rest of our family to recognize in our lives how we have to change to transform ourselves to be more like Christ, and how we have to do that with the power of the Spirit. I know at Cross Creek I have grown much deeper in my faith, in my walk, and that's because of the church's commitment to making sure that we grow in truth. And that's something that I really want for my whole family. That's something that I want for my kids. I want them to have an appetite to go deeper, an appetite for the truth.
One thing I've felt really challenged in while being at Cross Creek that I really value is the idea that church is not for me. I mean, it's important to grow in church, and I think the Lord wants to speak to me for sure. That's important, getting poured into, but also pouring out. And I think in today's society, we are so obsessed with what we are being served up at church.
I could go anywhere and be affirmed in the way that I want to live my life for me. And Cross Creek is just really great in challenging me, challenging Whitney, challenging our whole family really to live transformed lives. Every Sunday I go to Cross Creek, I know I'm going to hear the gospel, and it's going to challenge me in the way I'm living to recognize I have things that I need to change. And knowing that my kids are hearing that same message is huge to me. I cannot put a price tag on that.
And we live in such a gray world, and I feel like, especially for our kids, everything is going to be very gray, but in a church it should be very black and white. And I really appreciate that about Cross Creek. You get solid truth, black and white, because that's what Scripture is.
That's something that excites us, to have that assurance with our church, and I hope that's something that excites our kids as well, and something that just keeps going into the future.